The committee has made public Janet Lim-Napoles signed lists of individuals with whom she allegedly had transactions on the pork barrel scam. And its contents, essentially the same as the list released by rehabilitation czar Panfilo Lacson. Meanwhile, the committee will have to wait a little longer before getting the complete affidavit of Napoles. Sam Ramirez reports.
Justice Secretary Laila De Lima personally asked Blue Ribbon Committee Chair Teofisto Gingono III for a one-week extension on the submission of the affidavit and list she obtained from Janet Lim-Napoles, alleged pork barrel mastermind. De Lima said she's still waiting for the complete affidavit from Napoles' camp. Gingono allowed the extension but required her to submit the list. This is the only list signed by Napoles. The list submitted by De Lima is identical to what Lacson except for some handwritten names inserted by Napoles herself. Napoles listed 10 incumbent and 2 former senators. The 10 incumbent senators are Bong Revilla Jr., Jinggoy Estrada, Vicente Soto, Loren Legarda, Coco Pimentel, Alan Peter Cayetano, Gringo Honasan, Cheese Escudero, and JV Ejercito. The 2 former senators are Manny Villar and deceased Robert Barbers. The list of incumbent and former congressmen and women is also noticeably identical to that of Lacson's, except for a few names in longhand. A certain Renato Unico was included, along with a certain Jalcita. The list also includes a certain Gullias, Emano, and Kong Angara-Apo. After the news broke out, Senator Sonny Angara immediately sent out a copy of his PDAF allocations when he was still a congressman to prove that none of his PDAF went to NGOs. Some names were also added under the Department of Agriculture, but aside from a certain Kong Gonzalez, the other names are illegible. A certain Celia Kwasay, Kong Maite, and Butch was also added under agents. The committee sent out a subpoena duces tecum addressed to Ben Harluy, requiring him to submit a soft copy of his digital records which are relevant to the PDAF scam.
I signed the subpoena yesterday.
Another subpoena, sir?
Yes, I'm subpoena duces tecum, not for a hearing, just for the production of this digital.
The committee gave Louie until May 21 to comply. Meanwhile, the Blue Ribbon Committee might continue its probe on the PDAF scam upon reviewing all the documents that will be submitted to them.
We will have to evaluate everything, so we'll have to wait for the affidavits. And for now, we have the list at least.
Pero so yung sigurado po, magkakaroon ng meeting ulit?
Most probably, yes, of course.
So yung sa Malampaya po next week, or
No, most likely I'll postpone it also. I want more time to with all these things.
For the People's Television, Sam Ramirez.